What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Today's gonna be kind of a different video. So I've been playing more World War II lately, just because I'm just trying to get aim a little bit better on here because I've been playing in such a long time. So trying to get myself better, so that way when I do the every other day streams for Battlefield 5 in this game and Rainbow Six Siege, that I don't suck ass at it, you know. But anyway. I wanted to make this video because I kind of been inspired watching YouTubers and kind of just thinking about this as I've been playing, and that is the good and the bad, and why World War II was so great. I'm gonna get all the negative stuff right off the bat. I think the biggest three things in this game, for me, would have to definitely be cavalry division, fire shotguns, and requisitions. I think if you want to add these two things, you could, and that's grenades and bouncing betties. But I mean, they're like livable, like, you know what I'm saying, like they're livable, like it's not that bad. But like, the other three things are terrible. I think that's why a lot of people like don't like the game. But the good, let's start off with some general things that I really like, and that you know, that I wish that would be like that for every COD, and that is kill time in this game is beautiful. There's no weirdness in it. Like, you pretty much know that always it's going to be 3 to 4 shots to kill someone, guaranteed. Maybe less than that, but for the most part it's always 3 to 4 shots. The map design, there's a lot more good maps than there were negative maps. If we go in here to custom games, I'll show you some of the worst maps in my opinion. So the worst map in the game, in my opinion, is by far Gibraltar, which is this map, and Point Du Hoc. Some of the best maps in the game is definitely London, Shipment, Ardennes, Flak, Aachen. I mean, even US Texas is not too bad. But those are all the best maps. I think Gust of Cannon is kind of a nice middle mound, and same Arena Mont's pretty fun if you're playing gun game, S&D, affected, but all the other modes are kind of whack on that one. Some of the best modes in the game, and when we had Operation Breakout, Operation Griffin, Operation Neptune, which were 3 of the default, the 3 default war modes. Now there is more, as well as maps. There are more, but I don't have the DLC downloaded. I did purchase the first 3, but I had a weird bug on my system, and I'm not able to access those 3 DLCs. It still says I have to purchase them even though I already have, so that's kind of fucked. But if I find a way to get those maps back, I'll make an updated video on just like DLC content alone. And yeah, the DLC maps, like I said, are pretty good. Yeah, it says at the visit store, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, so those are the best modes and the maps. I mean, I think definitely Breakout is probably the best. Actually, Griffin's probably my favorite. Just because getting sniper feeds on the refilling the tank and pushing the bridge are probably the easiest feeds you'll ever get in your life. I mean, you can literally just be the most sniper ever, and if you just hit your shots, you're fine. But yeah, Neptune's probably the worst one out of all the operations, but kind of doing it the worst and the worst and best at the same time. It's kind of weird here. Sorry about that. But best modes, probably in my opinion, like what makes this game so good is War. I mean, I don't really play it that often because I go for nukes, but I do truly love War. War is a fun mode. And it's something that I wish we had again in COD. You know, Battlefield, I mean, not Battlefield, sorry, Modern Warfare did the whole, like, Battle Royale, and I think they should have just done, like, a war type style mode, but it is what it is. TDM and Domination, bangers, like always. Hardpoint in this game is absolutely fire. The only modes that I don't personally like is CTF and Gridiron, just because they're really slow modes, especially if you get on a good streak and die, and then you're sitting there fucking when you're spawning in. That's just bullshit. S&D, it's a banger. I mean, it's S&D. Free for all is always good for trying to get some commentary videos. It's always good. But those are the modes. Not too bad. But so we're gonna move on over to some more hardcore shit, and that is gunplay. Gunplay in this game is very good in the sense that it's not super hard to shoot, but like, you don't feel like every gun's the same. They're close, but not every gun's the same. So like, you know that like pretty much all the SMGs are gonna have the same type of recoil patterns, same as the ARs. You're gonna have all the same type of recoil patterns, but they're only same for their category. Like LMG is not gonna have the same recoil patterns as the assault rifles, but the assault rifles aren't gonna have the same recoil pattern as the SMGs. But pretty much every gun in that category is pretty much the same type of recoil. Like STG kind of has a similar recoil to the bar, and the PPSH kind of has a similar recoil to the, the Type 100, right? But now they might have a little bit more higher sensitivity. Like they might be more aggressive, but like overall they're pretty much the same. I think overall they did a really good job with the way they handled weapons in this game. I think they felt really smooth, which is something that COD has struggled. Example BO3, BO4, Modern Warfare, Ghost was a little bit sketch. Black Ops 2 was pretty good. But yeah, there's a couple COD games that struggled with getting guns to feel smooth. But overall, I think they did a really good job. And another thing, one of the hugest things I think, and one of my things that I think I enjoyed the most in this game is divisions. Divisions were amazing. They were amazing ideas. I mean, divisions, like, they added an aspect to the game that, like, encouraged players to try to get out of their comfort zones and play, like, Commando, Expeditionary, Mountain, Armored, Airborne Infantry, Resistance, and Cavalry. They pretty much put you outside your normal zone to play and kind of encourage you to play better. I think they handled perks. See, perks were interesting in this game because I think they handled perks cool, but I wouldn't necessarily say I prefer this perk system over Infinite Warfare's, Modern Warfare 2's, Black Ops 3's, any other one, right? I don't know if I prefer it because sure, it is nice not having to like worry about some guy running fucking 300 different perks that make him like a ghost, but at the same time it would be nice to be able to run like Forage and Gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? It would be nice to run more than one without being forced to use a division to run more than one, but at least they gave us that option to run two if you would like, which is obviously pretty good. Some of the other big things is score streaks. Score streaks in this game were very good. Score streaks are all worth the grind. So, and this is one of those things where it's not like it's not like punishing you to go on a streak and get something that's trash, right? So what I mean by that, right, is look at Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare streaks are complete trash. I mean, the best score streak's only 7 kills. I think it's like 7, 8 kills. Best score streak in the game. That's all you need. 7, 8 kill streak. Not even a merciless yet, which in my opinion is stupid. You shouldn't have your best score streak at the bottom of the tier list. I mean, not easy to get. Meanwhile, the gunship and chopper gunner, they're cool and all, but they're not really that OP, right? They're kind of like standard. But in this game, it was different. They were actually worth. It was actually worth the grind. So if you look at here, we got the Molotov at 300 points, which is about roughly 3 kills. If you're playing Dom. And you get objectives, you might only actually have to get 2, or, well, yeah, because if you get usually 100 points per kill. I think in Dom is 75 points per kill, so you would only need like 2 kills, and you need to capture objective like capture an enemy objective that's already captured, that you get the 200 points, and you literally only need like 1 or 2 kills. But that's it. College Molotov is good. It's a one-time use. Has a really good range. You can throw this thing hella far. And for the most part, as soon as it hits you, kills you. It's not like one of those things where the fire wears off. You should most likely die unless you don't hit them with a full flame. The UAV is 500 points. That's kind of standard. Most CODs it is 500 points, so, it's kind of balanced. Only 25 points more to get the counter recon. Now, the counter recon is one of those streaks that I recommend no one runs. It's completely useless. And honestly, when you run it, you're just helping people who need to get chrome. Is really all you're helping, because you need to destroy aircraft with RPGs for camos. But it's completely useless. It does not affect the radar. So like when you get it right, it doesn't block out the radar. It only gives you it only works if there's an enemy recon. Then you call it in, and this will actually shoot down this. So that's interesting. So it's kind of useless in this game. Then the care package. It's 575. That's not too bad. I mean, I think past cons are usually 550. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure most CODs are 550. Because I'm pretty sure, I remember correctly, most CODs, the care package is actually before the counter recon. Usually the counter recon's like usually like the 5th or 6th score streak. It's not too bad. I mean, it's one of those things where you kind of have to base it off of how much, you can't really base off because it's all random, but you get out of it. But the fighter pilot, 625, that's not bad. I mean, TDM, that's 6 kills and assist, so it's not bad. It's kind of worth it. I mean, if you're good with it, it can be very deadly. If you're trash, then I wouldn't recommend using it. But we got the glide bomb. This thing is incredibly deadly on hardpoint. This thing can do some work. I mean, like, it's 650. I mean, but you can get anywhere from 3 to 7 kills with this at a time. Like, I've gotten a 6-man already with this thing. I mean, it's not necessarily the hardest thing ever, but the flamethrower. Now, this is one of those things. You probably won't catch me using this unless I'm playing War and I get it off of one of the care packages. Now, but this can do some work if you're playing like Hardpoint, or if you're playing Dom and you're holding, like, you're in a closed map, maybe like let's see, Flat Tower and Shipment. Those two maps are close quarters, so you could use a flamethrower and probably go positive with it. But I don't know if I would put this at 700. I'd probably switch this out for probably the fighter pilot. I'll probably put the fighter pilot here. I mean, the fighter pilot where the flamethrower is, put the flamethrower here. The mortar strike. Now we're getting into the more deadly zone, and this is what I've been talking about before. Now that we're in the 700s and 800s and 900s towards the 1,000-point streaks, now they're getting better. The mortar strike is probably one of the better ones in the game. I don't frequently use it. I usually use the artillery barrage mainly when I use this on shipment, so I'm holding down a spawn with this. But the mortar strike is really good. It's 3 multiple separate explosions. Now it only shoots, I believe, 1 rocket that hits the ground at those locations, so it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I mean, you can get kills with it, but I mean, really, if he has them covered, you should be okay. The artillery barrage now is a whole another level. I mean, this is 100 points more, and it is dangerous, dude. Like, this thing will fuck your screen up, and it will kill extremely quickly. I mean, you can get probably like 10-man feeds. Like, oh, you can wipe out a team like 3 times in like a few minutes, especially if they're instantly respawning and they're not waiting out and watch the kill cam. This is what I run personally. I'm running the flat guns. This is amazing, bro. Like, the flat guns are OP, mainly because they last for roughly a minute. I believe it's a minute, or 2 minutes, and they block from streaks being activated, and all aerial streaks that are already in the area will be instantly destroyed. I usually like to use these if I want a good streak and I know the enemies don't have streaks, then I just block them from using them. But if I'm going against some sorties with like wreck positions, I'll make sure I get this and I save it until like I hear paratroopers being called in or ball turrets, because it'll kill those guys instantly. Emergency airdrop is basically just 3 care packages. It's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if it's worth 1,000 because it's very easy to die and lose all 3 care packages. So I mean, use it at your will, I guess. The firebombing run. This thing is not as good as the carpet bombing run. The firebombing run is good if you're trying to hold them from not going in a certain direction, but I believe Expeditionary Division allows the blocking of fire damage, so you could literally just walk through it. Don't quote me on that. I might look at this video and see, but I think it does. Paratroopers is what I love running. I think this is like one of my most kills, use streak knife kills with, because paratroopers are just OP. They're veteran bots, and you get like, I want to say 5. Yeah, I think it's 5 paratroopers. So like that's 10 teammates now. If you have a 5-man team and you have another 5 paratroopers, that's 10 people on your team. So it helps. Then the carpet bombing run. Carpet bombing run's really good for just getting kills, mass feeds, because it does 3 loops, and it says that it passes over enemy occupied territory. That is sort of right. It'll pass, the first passover will be wherever there's more enemies. The last 2 will be in different sections. So say if you're playing shipment. The first one, say the enemies are spawning at C car. Then it'll spawn a bombing run over C. Then the next one will go A, and then the next one will go B. So it'll actually like it'll cut down the map into sections and actually run over. So that way every part of the map is getting hit by these. They come, I think it takes like 30 seconds for the next one to pop in. So once one comes through, you have like 25 seconds maybe to get to safety before the next one comes in. And I think it's random in the direction it comes. So it could be A, B, C, or B, C, D, or like, you know, whatever. It could be in any situation, right? Then the ball turret is what I'm also running, which I don't remember running the ball turret necessarily, but I guess I am running the ball turret. I don't remember putting this on, but ball turret is what I've been running, and it's kind of low-key fun because the ball turret is just really OP on smaller maps. Larger maps like Gibraltar, Gustav, they're not really the best maps unless you're like playing on Gustav. If you're playing hardcore, I mean the ball turret is an instant spawn trap because those spawns are open. But that's the streaks. And I really like how they did it, just because it overall just really encourages you to run different setups for streaks. Like I have different setups for streaks. I have like a S&D setup for streaks. I have a war. You can't run streaks in there, so I usually either just don't have streaks on or just let my streaks on or going. So I don't really. But another thing, I think this game did really well. And y'all gonna probably know exactly what I'm gonna say, because my friends, especially who watch my channel, will know exactly what I complain about on Modern Warfare all the time, and that is challenges, calling card challenges. This game did an amazing job with getting calling card challenges. I mean, there's hundreds of calling cards you can unlock here. I mean, hundreds of them. I would recommend grinding these out. Now, if you're going for 100%, I'm sort of going for 100%. When I play this game, I'm trying to do as much challenge as I can. Your hardest, like, objective modes are going to be Gridiron and Capture the Flag. Just because no one plays them. Search and Destroy may not be too bad, but Search and Destroy are pretty intense. These two challenges are pretty intense. For me, anyway, so I don't play objective. But the rest of these challenges aren't too bad. They could be a lot worse. But yeah, they had tons of calling card challenges. I mean, they had hundreds of emblems. I mean, right here, the Operation Overload, there's 233 emblems. I personally have, in the calling cards, I have, in Operation Overlord, which is the default, I have 330 calling cards, which is absolutely bonkers. But yeah, so there's tons of calling card challenges. And I think that's something that they really did good in this game because it encouraged you to grind, and that's how I'm still grinding this game. About to be almost 3 years old. I think it is 3 years old. I think it is. No. I think December it'll be 3 years. Yeah, I think it'll be December. I think this coming December it'll be 3 years. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And they also did a really good job with customization for guns. They had paint jobs. Something that Modern Warfare didn't have that I really thought they would is paint jobs, but they didn't have it. And yeah, so that's something you can do in here. You can customize your weapon. I don't really mess with paint jobs that often because I'm suck ass at it, but they have reticles, different type of reticles. They have weapon charms. They have camouflages, and in camouflages you have also in custom games you guys can't see it, but in Multiplayer you have like chrome, and you have diamond, and you have gold. And especially you have to grind a Master Prestige to get to 1000 to get this bad boy game over here. And in zombies, there's probably over 20 special camos that are like different moving camos, and there's different Easter eggs you could have done to get those camos. A little like thing, those events, so you could do challenges in those events to get the camos. There's so much to do in this game, and that's what I'm really trying to push right now. Is there's so much to do. Even starting this game now, you could probably grind this game for another year, and you probably still would unlock everything I have. It took me almost 3 years now to unlock almost everything I have, which I can say is honestly dope. Also in this game you had helmets and uniforms of face camos, but now those were more like supply job type stuff. So speaking of supply jobs, that's gonna be my slide into those. So supply jobs and the quartermaster. So I might do a supply job video today. I'm not too sure. Because you have a whole shit ton of supply drops, but I'm not sure if I want to open them just quite yet. But the quartermaster. So the quartermaster is one of those places that was not the best when the game first came out, just because these were all closed. You can see they were like, now they're available. They were made available at the last update, the last batch of weapons. They opened them for everybody and just said, fuck it, have your fun. So you can see that I have most of these all collected. You can see I have 10 out of 10, 4 out of 4, 4 out of 4, so on and so forth. But these challenges really gave you so much shit. So you could literally, I think, I'm at 391,000 army credits. It roughly took me probably over another million army credits, probably, to get all this, because there's so many, especially this. There's 63 of these, and they all have at least 7, 6. I think, yeah, a minimum is 5. That's the smallest one there is. But yeah, there's just so much shit. Then, including, they also added contracts. So contracts would allow you to get weapons. Like here, it's Delisle, and they change, I believe, every Tuesday. They change with the daily contracts and weekly contracts. Now these contracts, give you supply jobs. They cost you army credits. I could probably do them. Not really worth it. Again, I have pretty much almost everything in the game almost, so it's not really worth it for me. They had zombies in this game, and it was good. So there's that too. Some other good things this game did that I kind of want to touch on is graphics, the story. Both those things were amazing. The sticking to realism was really big for me. I like how they kept the way of realism and all that. I think they did a really good job with the social and the social score system. The only thing I really wish they brought back is special contracts, but unfortunately they don't have them anymore. But that is pretty much that. There's not much else to talk about. I'm probably gonna make another video here, the tips and tricks video or something, or top 10 weapons used in 2020 or whatever. I don't know yet. But yeah, so that's World War II, the good and the bad, the best and why it's probably one of the best next-gen console games in the history of the world. And yeah, that's been your boy. That's been the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of World War II. Did you guys play it? And if you don't play it, haven't played it, I suggest you go there and get some PS Plus on your PlayStation and get it. It's free right now to buy, so that's pretty cool. And it's, I think, free to the end of the month, so you have a couple weeks, about a week and a half or so, about 2 weeks, to get your hands on it for free. Once and done forever, you'll have it. So check it out. Ranked play still pretty busy. Shipment, shit tons of players. Ground War, Mosh Pit, shit tons of players. And Dom and TDM, there's shit tons of players. The other modes, kind of like iffy. But yeah, zombies. Anyone needs help doing the Easter egg, the default map Easter egg, hit me up in the DMs on PlayStation or Instagram or Twitter, and I will help you with them if you have it on PS4. And with that being said, also, before I forget, I want to try something new. If you have a PS4 and you would like me to try to get you a nuke, we can communicate over Twitter DMs, Instagram DMs, or PlayStation DMs, and I can maybe help you out get some nukes, hopefully for you guys. But with that being said, it's been your boy, and until the next one, peace.